Imagine winning the Super Bowl but realizing your future franchise quarterback might never see the field. That is the bizarre reality hitting the Seattle Seahawks locker room right now. Behind the championship parades, a massive internal debate is brewing over Jalen Milroe. After a veteran stunned the world, the plan for the rookie just hit a brick wall. Front office sources are now whispering about a move that could change our draft strategy forever. Is Seattle about to sell high on their biggest developmental asset, or is this a massive mistake? You won't believe what the building is thinking. Jalen Milroe is currently at the center of a fascinating organizational crossroads that no one truly expected after the Seattle Seahawks hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. When John Schneider took Milroe in the third round, the blueprint was clear. Develop the elite athlete while a veteran held the fort. However, Sam Darnold didn't just hold the fort, he led this team to a world championship, completely rewriting the timeline for the quarterback position in Seattle. Milroe spent most of his rookie season inactive, watching from the sidelines as the depth chart solidified ahead of him. Now, entering his second year, the path to the starting job looks significantly more blocked than it did 12 months ago. With 3 years left on his rookie deal, Milroe's trade value might be at its absolute peak right now. Teams across the league are looking at this year's shallow quarterback class and seeing Milroe as a better option than almost anyone available outside the top 2 picks. The Seahawks are currently sitting with only 4 selections in the 2026 NFL Draft, and the internal discussion is whether they should flip Milroe to recoup mid-round capital. It's a classic value play that could help sustain the championship window, but it comes with a terrifying risk. If the Seahawks decide to move him during the draft in late April, they are essentially betting that Sam Darnold is the permanent answer or that another solution will magically appear. The dilemma is simple but high stakes. Do you keep the high-ceiling dual threat as an insurance policy, or do you trade the mystery box for guaranteed draft assets to reload the roster? Mike McDonald and John Schneider are weighing these options behind closed doors, and the pressure to make the right call is mounting as the draft approaches. But before we get into the heavy internal debate from Coach McDonald, there is something you absolutely need to consider about the current makeup of this roster and how one veteran's contract extension changes everything for Milroe's future. This quarterback situation in Seattle is getting intense, and I want to know where you stand on this. Should the Seahawks cash in on Milroe's potential now or keep him as the future? Drop your thoughts below because your insight matters. We are pushing hard to hit our goal of 500 subscribers, and your support by hitting that button and liking the video helps us bring you these insider reports every single day. Don't miss out on the next update because things are moving fast. Now, let's look at why Sam Darnold's presence makes this so complicated. Sam Darnold has essentially become the man who complicated everything for the Seattle Seahawks' long-term planning. His performance was so dominant that the organization felt compelled to look at the roster through a win-now lens, which often leaves developmental projects like Jalen Milroe in the cold. Along with the re-signing of Drew Lock to handle the backup duties, the Seahawks have built a room that prioritizes veteran stability over rookie growth on game days. For a player like Milroe, whose primary hurdles are anticipatory throwing and short area accuracy, the sidelines are the worst place to be. You don't fix those nuances by holding a clipboard. You fix them with live reps that simply aren't available in Seattle right now. My sources inside the building suggest that while the team loves Milroe's arm talent and elite mobility, they are pragmatic about the numbers game. If Indiana's Fernando Mendoza and Alabama's Ty Simpson are the only blue-chip prospects in this class, Milroe suddenly becomes the third best young quarterback available on the entire market. That creates a massive leverage opportunity for John Schneider. Other GMs are calling, looking for that high-upside dual threat to spark their offense. If Seattle can turn a third-round developmental pick into a future fourth, or even a late third again, they might take the deal to fill holes elsewhere on the defense. The irony is that the better Sam Darnold plays, the more expendable Milroe becomes in the eyes of the front office. However, there is a very strong faction within the coaching staff that believes moving on too early would be a catastrophe for the franchise's long-term health. They see a scenario where Darnold's price tag becomes unsustainable or his play regresses, leaving the Seahawks without a backup plan. The internal conflict is between the scouts who want the draft picks and the coaches who want the talent. This isn't just a minor roster move. It's a philosophical battle about how to manage a championship roster. If they keep him, they have a luxury backup on a cheap deal. If they trade him, they get the ammunition to find the next defensive star for McDonald's scheme. The decision made in the next few weeks will define the Seahawks' strategy for the next 3 seasons. John Schneider has a long and storied history of being extremely patient with developmental quarterbacks, and that history is the strongest argument for why Jalen Milroe might actually stay put. Head coach Mike Macdonald has been very vocal behind the scenes about his excitement regarding Milroe's work ethic and raw physical tools. Macdonald mentioned recently that while it was best for the team for Milroe to remain inactive during the Super Bowl run, his development behind the scenes has been nothing short of impressive. From a technical standpoint, keeping Milroe is like having an extra high upside draft pick who already knows the system and has spent a year in the building. In a league where backup quarterback salaries are skyrocketing, having a dual-threat weapon on a rookie contract is a massive luxury for a cap-strapped championship team. The impact of keeping him means the Seahawks can ignore the quarterback position entirely in the upcoming draft and focus on the trenches. However, the future remains cloudy because if Sam Darnold continues to win, Milroe's contract will eventually run out without him ever getting a meaningful start. The front office has to decide if they are okay with a third-round pick essentially being an insurance policy for his entire rookie deal. The most likely scenario is that Seattle waits until the draft in late April to see if a desperate team overpays. If a team like the Raiders or a quarterback-needy squad misses out on their guy, Schneider will be waiting by the phone. But make no mistake, Mike Macdonald is bullish on this kid. He sees the rocket arm and the speed and knows that if the offense ever needs a different dimension, Milroe is the only guy on the roster who can provide it. The future of the Seahawks quarterback room is currently a game of chess, and the team is waiting for the rest of the league to make the first move. Whether he stays or goes, the ripple effect on the salary cap and the draft strategy will be felt for years to come in Seattle. Ultimately, the Jalen Milroe situation represents the ultimate high-class problem for the Seattle Seahawks. It is the price of success. When you win a Super Bowl with a veteran, the young prospects you drafted to be the savior suddenly become trade chips. But we have to look at the bigger picture here. Is one mid-round draft pick worth more than the potential of a quarterback who could be a top 10 talent if he ever puts it all together? The Seahawks are a franchise built on finding value where others don't, and Jalen Milroe is the definition of high upside value. Trading him now might help the 2026 roster, but it could leave a massive hole in the soul of this team if Sam Darnold ever falters. This decision isn't just about Jalen. It's about the identity of the Seattle Seahawks under Mike Macdonald. Are they a team that develops and trusts its youth, or a team that aggressively flips assets to stay on top? The fans in Seattle deserve a plan that ensures this championship wasn't a one-off. I personally believe keeping Milroe is the right move for the security of the franchise, but the lure of more draft picks for John Schneider is a powerful thing to ignore. We are going to see exactly how this front office values long-term potential versus immediate flexibility very soon. What do you think is the right price for a talent like Milroe? Would you take a 5th-round pick to let him go, or is he worth more to us on the bench? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm reading all of them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button to stay updated on everything happening at the VMAC. We are almost at our 500 subscriber goal, and we need your help to get there. Stay tuned, because the NFL draft is right around the corner, and things are about to get very interesting in Seattle. This is the insider report you won't get anywhere else. Go Hawks!